Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 196. It's a paint and chat. Reese is painting. I'll be chatting, and McMurray is on mute right now because he's probably grinding up buffalo or something. Um, Thanks for joining us. And we got Telemachus early on here. You might be a gamer if you space out staring at the packaging and not the food. That's a distinct possibility. And then we got Charles here. Says, huh, oh yeah, snore. So, welcome, gentlemen. Glad you're here. Um, so, we've got in a week and 2 days, we've got March to Victory happening in Independence, being hosted by Wiley Games and the Basement Generals. It's going to be at Game Cafe on the downtown square of Independence, Missouri. Hissy Cat's in the house saying, "Sup? How you doing, Hiss?" And Ashley with Gamers with Coffee is here. Hey, boys. How you doing, Ashley? Is Greg with you, or is he, being antisocial? But yeah, we've got some gaming going on in a week and 2 days. March to Victory is going to be fun. I'm going to be running What a Tanker and my Battle of Endor Fistful of Lead Galactic Heroes, which, by the way, is a great game. If you don't have it, now's as good a time as any to get it. I don't know of any discounts right now, but you definitely want to, if you like sci-fi, pick up Galactic Heroes 2nd Edition. It's got quite a bit of really good stuff. So check that out. If you're more into big stompy robots, you can always go with Battlesuit Alpha. You can also pick up the newest Fistful of Lead Glorious Adventures in the Age of Steam. So head on over to wiley-games.com. Use not J in the coupon code and get 20% off. Grant is in the house. Hey guys, Grant here. We met at Tacticon in KC. Looking forward to March to Victory. Outstanding. Good to see you, Grant.
Grant and I played a lot of World War I air combat together. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah. So glad you're here, Grant. Welcome. Yeah, we'll definitely see you there at March to Victory. It's going to be a blast. A day and a half of great fun. I got to pick up my ticket.
Oh, I haven't done that either. I probably should do that.
Yeah, that's the great thing about March to Victory is it's a day and a half of gaming, and it's only $15. You really can't beat that. And then also there's good food all around the square there at Independence. Unfortunately, they don't have the flatbreads there at the Three Trails Brewing anymore.
Oh no,
that's my understanding.
What are they doing any kind of food there anymore? Or is it just the brewery?
I don't know.
Don't worry, gents. I'll make sure I got 3 plastic spoons and probably 9 or 12 cans of beefaroni. We'll be all right.
All right, there you go.
We'll live.
The classic McMurray.
I made sure
running food.
I made sure our hotel room had a fridge, so if we need that, we've got it. And
that's the best thing about beefaroni. Don't even have to refrigerate it.
Yes, Scala, he did move his hobby space. The wall that you're seeing your helicopter.
Yeah, that Huey's gonna fall.
It's just getting a real aggressive pitch to it. That's all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ours-
That wall right there is that wall right there is the wall we used to see behind him where he was previously. So his sister-in-law moved out and he moved in. So he's got his
Outstanding.
own space.
Outstanding. Jay, don't worry. I'll be
Silent
painting in just a
party.
minute. I got to finish eating real quick.
Um,
Good evening, Percy.
my brother says I don't see any painting going on. I see
Give it
painting
time.
going on right there. I am not painting yet. I need to start working on these guys again. And then he says that tears it. I'm not going. You weren't going anyway, Jay. You had prior engagements.
Jay, I'll bring
Uh,
3 cans of beefaroni for you too.
And then
I'm sure we have some MREs laying around. He'll do just fine.
Exactly, Percy. It's quite
Percy,
literally
good
the
evening.
chef's kiss. Chef Boyardee,
Yes.
the master.
Yes. Good evening, fellow fine gentlemen of impeccable taste and discernment. Man, do we
Where?
got him fooled. Fooled.
Actually, guys, I think for Jay, I might bring the big ravioli. Just because he's a classy gent.
Yeah, well, there you go. What about you, sir? All right. Anyway, the other thing, of course, we always talk about is Geek Gaming Scenics.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm using right now.
Fast Ryan Basing Glue from geekgamingusa.com.
Oh, hell yeah. We're advertising it. Reese is just using it in the wild. Look at that. Outstanding.
Yeah. Yep. He's actually going to start basing his Winter Americans. He's putting on a little bit of gravel on the bottom there, and then he's going to snow it up some.
Half the audience doesn't know I have anything besides tropical.
Right? So, but you've actually been painting a crap ton of airplanes.
Yes, I
Hello, Ashley. Hi, Greg.
Oh, okay. Ashley's back home and Greg is sitting next to her. Good. Glad to hear that.
I was
I'll be
afraid
painting
Greg
some
was
planes
out
next
working in
week.
this
I'm pretty
awful
excited.
weather.
What's that?
I said I was afraid Greg was out working in this awful weather.
Oh, yeah. This weather is for the damn birds. Except
I don't
the
think birds like
are
it too much. They've been flying all over the place.
the birds up here were not able to fly at all today.
Yeah, that's my point. I watched a couple of birds try and take off. And all of a sudden
Yeah.
they accelerated in one direction.
Backwards.
Yeah.
It's snowing over in Kansas City right now.
That's not okay. Nope.
Yeah.
You got freezing rain here right now.
Keep that
Also
dumb nonsense over there. We don't want it.
Exactly.
We had up to 50-mile-per-hour gusts too.
Shut up, Reese.
Yeah, it was awful.
We had those today also, man. At about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I was looking out across. I was driving back to the office from doing my mail run, and driving due west. I couldn't tell if it was smoke or if it was dust kicking up.
Hopefully dust.
Yeah, I think it was dust, but we've got a new wind farm that's just west of town, and normally I can see 2 or 3 of the windmills very clearly. Today it was, I know it wasn't fog because it was too damn windy for fog. Now that being said, I have been in a 20-mile-an-hour wind with fog in Oklahoma City. It was the weirdest experience I've ever had.
Hard pass.
We're getting a lot of smoke out of the Oklahoma fires right now, but we're also getting intermittent dust storms too.
Yeah.
So
So Grant said, "Yeah, your helicopter just took a dive again."
It'll go up later.
Yeah.
Hexy,
Um,
what's up, buddy?
Hizzy Cat and Charles had great weather in San Diego. It's 74 degrees out there. Grant saying it was 75 and beautiful in Kansas City. Snow and high winds today. Yep, it was nuts.
Scala's
High
comments
70,
killing me.
highs in the upper 70s in Central Florida.
Oh, shoot.
I was generally angry about how much I like that basing glue. So it has no excuse for being that much better than just normal PVA. Yeah, it's really good stuff. What are you doing, sir?
Hang on just a second, guys.
Okay. Oh, all right. Clarky wants to be seen. He was tired of sitting in the lap, so he wants to be seen. To the point where he turned himself around so he could be seen over my shoulder. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, you're just a good cat. Yeah, so head on over to geekgamingusa.com and get your glue, get your base ready material, and go to town.
You cannot go wrong with it.
No, it's amazing stuff. As I've said many times, makes your bad miniatures look good, your good miniatures look great, and your great miniatures look amazing. So, and when you order, if you put in a little note to say, "Hi, hi McMurray," or "Saw you on Not Jay's show," McMurray will give you a little message, or might throw a little something in that doesn't make it way too much.
No bananas.
No bananas.
So, Percy, what part of Central Florida are you in?
Oh man, we are in the presence of Florida, man.
Yes, we do have a Florida man here, Mr. Percy.
I'm just curious because I spent 5 years down in Lakeland. So when you say Central Florida, you get my attention.
Well, yeah, but Percy isn't hanging out at that camp with the spiky wires.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and I mean, when Grady Judd's your neighbor, Grady Judd's your neighbor.
Oh, yeah, that's not a good day for you, Reese, when you do Goofy Reese stuff.
I know. Oh well, we don't talk about those 5 years.
That'll happen.
So, one thing I thought we would talk about tonight was what we consider to be the prettiest airplane in history. So, I'm going to throw it out there that for me, one of the prettiest airplanes out there is the I got a couple, but I'm going to start off with an obvious one. That's the P-51 Mustang, especially the D model, the D or the K. Just those lines are just amazing, and the fact that it went from drawing board to first flight in under a year was amazing. We got Wolfgang online here. He's in the West Coast, just south of Ocala.
Okay. Ocala, yep.
Scholar Gremlin says $20 is $20. Grant says prettiest airplane in history, easy. The Sud Caravel. Okay. I
Sounds like some sort of Spanish contraption.
I'm going to look it up here real quickly.
You guys are going to have to excuse my snotty mess. Every antihistamine that I've found is still working on it.
Okay, that is So it's a passenger aircraft. But it does have some nice lines. Let me get a good picture of it here. And I think I'll go with that one. And I'll share my screen. Oh boy, there you go. Okay, we're going to share screen. We're going to allow. We're going to select this one here. So there it is. That is the Sud Caravel. Scala says any plane with Betty Page painted on it gets his vote.
With what painted on it?
Betty Page.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, does nose art on B-17s count? Because then it's stiff competition.
Hex says best airplane equals any plane where you join the Mile High Club. Good Lord.
Hell yeah.
Why do I even try with him?
Sexy Hexy, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Man, the myth, the legend.
My brother pipes in with the B-1B. I got to admit, the B-1B is a good-looking airplane. I really like the B-1B. Grant says, I love the Caravel because it very much reflects the era it was built. Sleek, modern Art Deco vibes. And Jay says he's biased for reasons. I can understand. I can understand that. I've actually seen a B-1B do a barrel roll. I was at a Oklahoma or an air show in Oklahoma City, and this thing flew in from Dice Air Force Base in Abilene, and they came in and it kicked up and did a 1G barrel roll.
Oh, yeah.
So, not quite sure it was supposed to do that, but
that sounds like not your problem.
Not my problem. Charles says any plane that gets me to my destination in one piece.
That is true. Charles is always coming in with the clutch points.
Yep.
Fair enough.
But Hexy does come up with a actual real aircraft. The C-131 by Convair, the Samaritan. Yeah, that's another good looking airplane. It's a propeller driven aircraft. Tricycle gear. It was it's the military version of the CV-240. Yeah, it's a decent looking airplane. Hissy Cat says the F4U Corsair.
That is a strong contender.
Yes, that is one sexy aircraft. Charles says a B-17 at about 500 feet.
Which model, Charles? I am a huge fan of the later model, like tail, where the tail meets the fuselage of later model B-17s.
Yeah.
But the original tail just doesn't really do much for me. I don't know.
Hang on, guys. I'm going to have to take a second. My contact's trying to escape. I'll go upstairs real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Good luck.
My brother says, to be fair, the C-17 that took me out of KAIA was pretty cool.
I'm sure that was one of the most beautiful planes you've ever been inside of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, another airplane that I've always thought was a pretty airplane is the F-14 Tomcat.
Fair.
Charles says either the F or G. So the late model Fs were very similar to the Gs. I think they just had a different arrangement of those cheek windows.
Again,
between
that's
the F and the G.
That's the tail ventricle I like, though.
Yes. Yeah. So it's
Big fan.
This style.
I can't see it because I got my camera set up for painting, but I believe you.
Yeah. But I do like the F-14 Tomcat. I know that it was what they call hangar queen because if I remember correctly, it took for every 1 hour of flight time, it had 100 hours of maintenance time because of the swing wing situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just had a crap. You were constantly working on the damn thing.
Fairly needy aircraft.
But man, power, performance, what it could, firing those Phoenix missiles at
anything.
Yeah. At 120 miles.
So that's the wild thing, right? Like that's an obscene distance. And nowadays that's like obscenely far too close. What?
Ashley's got to take off.
Oh, see you, Ashley. Bye, Greg. If you guys aren't already following Games with Coffee, hop over there. Go say hi to Games with Coffee. They're great folks.
Yep. Hopefully they're going to be down at March to Victory.
I hope so. It's always good to see them.
Yeah.
Usually they bring the family, and it's a great time.
Yeah. Scala says the A-10 does have its charisma. The honesty of its utilitarian ass-whooping aesthetic has a certain charm. I tend to agree. It's a good-looking aircraft. It's one of those. It's so ugly, it's good-looking.
Oh, now easy. I don't know about all that. I like the fuselage shape on it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very utilitarian. Hissy Cat says F-86 and the F-4 Phantom is his number 2 favorite.
I'm happy somebody else said the F-4 Phantom. A lot of people scoff at me when I say that. I think it's a pretty airplane. I realize the nose is bent. Whatever. I like it.
Well, I mean, so the nose has been. Big deal. There's a lot of people out there with bent noses that look good. Look at Owen Wilson. Is it Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson?
I don't know.
One of them.
Wow, it's Owen Wilson. I just watched that Behind Enemy Lines movie with him, with Gene Hackman in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched that.
Gene Hackman was a good one.
Good fitting memorial for, yeah, exactly.
Miss that guy.
I am having issues with my microphone. Okay, hold on.
You are?
Yeah, that's what Scala says.
Oh.
Am I not sounding good to you, everybody?
Sounds pretty good to me. Every now and then we're all cutting out, but I figured that was my internet, not anybody's technical issues.
My brother says the A-10 is all hype and little actual combat utility.
Correct. It's really niche. It's still a pretty airplane.
Yeah.
And it is 100% a meme airplane, but whatever. We're in 2025.
A-10 go bird.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, and it was made for a definitely a different time.
It was made for a combat that, thank God, never happened.
Yeah.
Made for killing tanks in Germany that happened to be of Soviet persuasion.
Well, exactly. And again, thank God that World War III never happened and we never had to worry about U.S. close air support in the face of an obscenely large armored attack across the Eastern Bloc.
Yup.
I'm trying to figure out what in the world I did with whatever basing I usually use on my European guys.
It's a great question. I think you probably just need to order some more.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could probably bring it out to you.
Well, I know I'm not anywhere close to being done with it because last I saw it was in a container like this, about half full. So
Yeah, but you paint those 54 millimeter miniatures. You got the great big bases. You know, it's.
Oh yeah, because I do so much basing.
I mean, one for every miniature,
Um,
unless you're
Jay
like
does,
me.
Jay does have a good point also. So it would have been wiped from the skies over Fulda. Yeah.
Correct, but you know what, Jay? Let's not get into that right now.
Minor pesky details.
I mean,
Um,
yes, the U.S. again, it was designed using that U.S. idea that we're coming out of World War II where we had absolute air supremacy, right?
right.
Which we had in Vietnam and
Mhm.
somewhat in Korea.
Correct. Which I
Desert
would argue that the U.S. would probably have in any war that they engage in right now as well. But, yeah, honestly, I don't know. That's actually a good point. Like, we saw that in the Russian invasion of Ukraine, though, with just great long lines of Russian armor strung out. Like, I realize
The,
that
the,
if you just send in a single solitary A10, it's going to get blown out of the sky. But with, you put a couple F-35s up or F-22s up in the sky, and F-35 or two, and now all of a sudden, enemy aircraft have something more important to think about, i.e., where their parachute is.
well, I think though where the A10 was going to get it is going to be with the Shilka and the
Correct.
the whatever I think it's the SA-7.
The shoulder fired guy.
No, the gasket. The
Oh, okay.
The because every single regiment had
Yes.
or has mobile anti-air rolling
Correct.
with it.
I don't know about anymore.
Well,
Those guys have probably been handed a rifle and pushed forward.
Yeah, exactly. So, Charles says technically called a drone, as big as an airplane, the Northrop Grumman, formerly Teledyne Ryan Global Hawk. Yeah, that's a good looking airplane. It's an airplane.
God bless you. You did say aircraft.
Yeah, it's an aircraft. I would consider it an airplane because the only thing it doesn't have that other airplanes do is a pilot in the aircraft. The pilot is a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand miles away. No big deal.
Just hanging out in the middle of Ohio, chilling.
Yeah, exactly. Not even breaking a sweat because he's in a air-conditioned room, wearing his utility blues or whatever the uniform of the day is. Hey, I'm not taking anything away from those guys. They're
for the worst jobs.
They're still, they're still a talented group of people. You still got to know how to fly those things.
And they're smart enough to do it indoors.
Exactly.
Good call.
So,
Easy, breathe. Breathe.
Scala says the Global Hawk looks like a pilot well with cancer. Oh man! Actually, an airplane that I thought was really cool. I shared this one with Reese earlier today. This is what's what I'm looking for here? It's an artist rendition of an aircraft that Fokker designed in 1946.
Fokker was designing aircraft in 1946?
Yeah.
Some people just don't learn.
Well, they were Dutch, weren't they?
Yeah. Fokkers are actually Dutch.
They were. It's a joke.
It's this guy right here.
We're going to take a jet fighter design or jet fighter bomber interceptor design and make it a passenger plane.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's it's somebody where I saw that somebody made the comment that the only thing you had to worry about with these aircraft were groundhog strikes.
I was about to say, am I thinking of an A6 that looks like?
F3D looks similar.
Yeah, but I mean, those are like full on jets, like in a Messerschmitt 262, strapped underneath the fuselage. It's crazy.
Oh, it's only 262 size? That's got to be bigger than a 262 jet.
It's about the size of a DC-3, but I'm talking about the engines.
Yeah. Those are only 262 size?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
It's not a very big airplane. Like I said, that they only had room for 14 passengers on it.
No, I get that, but dang, okay. I guess, the 262 is probably bigger than I thought it was. Bigger than
It's about the size of a P-47.
Well, P-47 is a large aircraft.
Percy says the OV-10 Bronco.
Good, Percy. Outstanding. Beautiful aircraft.
I know Reese is not a fan of the OV-10 Bronco.
What is that?
I don't know, man. If I wanted to fly a shoebox, I'd take one outside and throw it.
What if you really, really, really wanted to be a fantastic artillery spotter and support SOG teams?
O2. You got guys next to each other, and they can pass maps and stuff back and forth.
OV-10. You got
Can't
rockets.
do that in OV-10. You're sitting there like that. You can't do that in OV-10. You're sitting.
I know.
Tandem.
But you can have rockets and stuff and put a wax pencil dot on your windscreen to show where the rockets are going to hit. Because targeting computers and stuff. Also known as closing one eye and trying to move your head around.
George Lucas saw that one time and said, "Use the Force, Luke."
Oh, dude, I know it. But like you read the Plastic Man's memoirs, and that's the thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Did you see that Plaster was on Jack Carr's podcast the other day?
No.
I need to jump in and listen to that. Sorry.
That's okay.
I always figure there's about a 50-50 chance that in real life he's a bit kooky. But yeah.
Plaster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He came down and helped set up the Arkansas National Guard Sniper School. And he's really good at what he does, but he's a little off his rocker.
What's he doing setting up a sniper school? Just the fieldcraft portion?
You don't know Plaster's history with sniper schools and stuff?
No, I just know his
Into it.
His books.
He's one of the leading historians on like U.S. sniping and skills and stuff like that too.
Huh.
As I said, a little off his rocker.
No, I got you. That's just it just took me by surprise because that was 100% not his service experience.
We are talking about John L. Plaster, correct?
From SOG?
Yeah.
The author?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he in military circles, he's before SOG was open to the public, he was more known as a sniper than he was as a SOG man.
That's because he wasn't allowed to talk about SOG until.
Well, I know, but he was one of the instructors for the FBI and Customs Service, Marshals, SEALs, Marine Corps. I think he did some work for the Canadians.
No, I mean, I get that. My point is you read his books and nothing that he did with SOG was even remotely sniper related.
No, I know. Not with SOG. But I'm saying when he got out of SOG, that's what he went into.
Yeah, I got you. But my point is I feel like he probably broke into that community on the fieldcraft aspect of it.
I wish Jack Holt was still alive. I'd walk down the street and ask him.
Well, that's very reasonable.
Sadly, he's not. So, and all I have left of him is this little mini. So
fair. All right, I think the two Texases and I can't tell if this. I got to look online to figure out if this is a Queen Elizabeth or a Revenge. But I think their deck planking is going to be more on the gray side than the Holy Stone side.
So you're talking about the OV-10 Bronco being able to have rocket pods.
Yeah.
The O2 could have a SUU-11A mini gun. Had 4 hard points for MAU-3A bomb racks. Or you could have the LAU-59A rocket launcher or the MA-2A rocket launcher. Or you could have the SUU-14A bomblet dispenser.
I was purely talking about in terms of what it was rocking around with in 1969 in country in Vietnam. That's all.
Well, you could still get cargo at the back of it with a parachute, too.
Correct.
But as I said, it looks like a flying shoebox.
It does.
I mean, you can't kick anything out of the back end of the O2 because, well, if you're kicking something out the back,
It's
you're
sausage.
kicking out an engine.
It's sausage.
Because it's got 2 engines. Yeah, what? I don't know what Cessna was thinking when they decided to build that thing. Oh, the O2B was the version designed for psychological warfare with loudspeakers and leaflet dispenser.
Which is badass.
1974, rocking Black Sabbath over the jungle.
Well, honestly, the goofy thing is, like, you think about that and it's like, wait a minute. Those loudspeakers have to out loud an airplane engine.
Uh-huh.
Two airplane engines. Or a helicopter engine, which, in case anybody's forgetting, is obnoxious.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Brother Jay says the Department of State DOS Air DC-3 was one of my favorites to see at Herat Airfield Camp Arena.
It would be pretty slick to see a DC-3 fly. I've seen a DC-3 gun its engines up at the Museum of Transportation in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
Because that one, they can start the engines, but obviously it's not flying anywhere.
I think I saw one in the air at Sun and Fun in Lakeland, Florida. That'd been a long time ago.
Actually, that's a good point. I'm pretty sure they had one in the air at the air show. Because they get some really cool stuff from time to time in the air show at the air show in St. Louis.
I saw Bluebonnet Bell, which is a C-47 out of Burnett Airport in Burnett, Texas, with the Commemorative Air Force.
Chris, you've never been to Texas.
Never. Saw her fly and actually had parachutists jump out.
That's super duper cool.
The O2, the Cessna O2 is why Skylar Gremlin says you should not design a plane in MS Paint.
True.
So the other topic was to bring up was most beautiful warship. Now I know McMurray's answer already.
Yep.
And he's not wrong.
Yep.
And that is the Nelson / Rodney.
Yep. It's the Christina Hendricks of warships.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. Works great. Heavy in the front.
Yep. And a good looking back end too.
Very good looking back end.
Percy says the venerable AC-130, solid platform and beautiful. Yes. Nothing like having a 105 millimeter howitzer hanging out the side of it, blowing the shit out of everything.
Literally anything. Whatever it feels like.
Yeah. Here we go. Skylar Grumman says the Burrell class bird of prey. Not quite the warships I'm talking about, but okay. You're not wrong. It's a good looking starship.
I have to say though, I've also reconsidered where I used to think that the Hippers, or not the Hippers. No, not Hipper. What am I going for here? The Deutschlands were a little ugly. Not the case anymore. I would call Lutzow and Graf Spee quite nice, quite pretty.
Yeah, the Graf Spee is not a bad looking ship. I mean, the Bismarck and Tirpitz were decent looking ships.
They just kind of look like every other 15 inch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're very generic, but in a
They're
good
certainly
way.
they're a good looking ship. There's just nothing like supremely distinctive about them. Scharnhorst,
Right.
the Scharnhorsts are pretty.
Definitely.
Like if the Scharnhorst had got their 15-inch refit, so then they'd be
forget
rocking
about
the
it.
6 15-inch guns. They're certainly infinitely prettier than like Resolution and Renown,
Right. Definitely.
right? And I don't know. I think a Scharnhorst refit with 2-gun turrets would be positively gorgeous.
Now I know for American ships, everybody talks about the Iowas, and granted, those are good-looking ships. But there's something about the South Dakotas.
Yes, I would agree with you. I think aesthetically, I prefer the South Dakotas a little bit.
Yeah.
It's that great big obnoxious clipper bow isn't necessarily my favorite. I guess it's an Atlantic bow, but even so,
Right.
isn't necessarily my favorite. The South Dakotas, man, they're mean, they're compact, they are built for one thing. They're like the Revenge class, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're built for one thing. They're going to get into a battle line and they're going to just rock enemy battleships out of the water.
Yep.
Period. Especially like because they're some of the first battleships to really get a hold of good radar targeting, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
Definitely. Now along those lines, I really like the Mississippi and Idaho and what was the other one?
Other well executed New Mexicos.
Yeah, the New Mexico. Yeah.
Nevada is Nevada its own class? No,
Yeah.
because
Nevada
Nevada's
and Oklahoma.
Okay, yeah, Nevada and Oklahoma are the 6 turret guys, right? I believe.
No, the Oklahoma and the Nevada were.
Or am I thinking of Wyoming?
You're thinking of Wyoming and Arkansas.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, no, the Nevada, the Oklahoma and the Nevada were the 4-turreted 10-gun ship.
That's right. Okay, yes.
It had the 3-gun turret and the 2-gun super firing, both fore and aft.
Yes, my bad. I'm 100% thinking of Wyoming, the U.S. turret farm, which I'm not usually a fan of turret farms. Like, I think the Ganget is one of the ugliest battleships.
Oh, God, that thing is horrid.
Battleship classes that's ever existed. I'm not a huge fan of, like, the Japanese Miyokos and stuff.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, but, I mean.
Miyokos are cruisers, but yes.
I mean, I've got. That's the Arkansas right there. And for what it was, that and Texas, which is New Mexico class.
Texas is New York, isn't it?
Yeah. Texas and New York are the same class. Wyoming and Arkansas are the same class. They were just. I like them. I mean, yeah, they got a crap ton of turrets on them, but
Here's a hot question: is the Texas prettier post refit now that it has a Q turret as opposed to having an XYZ turret? I would argue yes.
Yeah, so having having that mast separating the Q turret from the X turret
Well, it
makes
turns
all
the
the
X
difference in
turret
the
into
world.
the Q turret, baby. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool. It's sexy. It's edgy. It's what the guys or what the girls love.
oh yeah.
Q turrets. In case anybody was questioning that,
Uh,
take it from me, the Terminal Bachelor. Women love Q turrets.
yes. Charles says no sugar with the Texas. Dude, I love me the Texas. You should know this. It's the first battleship I ever stepped foot on. It's the first. It's the first warship I ever stepped foot on. Now, granted, I've only been on two battleships, and that's Texas and North Carolina. Uh, and I put the North Carolina as the slightly less attractive,
South Dakota.
uh, yeah, sister to the or cousin to the South Dakota,
Yeah.
because it doesn't have the lines that the South Dakota does.
Like and Iowas are just kind of prettier-ish versions of South Dakotas in a
Right.
way. Like they're just kind of flexing,
Yeah.
like which is gorgeous and thoroughly American, but even so.
Yeah. Now another right along with the Iowa class is of course the only American battle cruiser, and that's the Alaska.
Man, I'm going to say it. If the Lexingtons had been a thing
Oh, absolutely,
in their final design iteration,
absolutely.
that's a
that
chef's
was-
kiss.
That
That being said, obviously that didn't happen. We turned into aircraft carriers. But
and honestly, until we got to like the Forrestal class, I think the Lexingtons were the best looking aircraft carriers for the Americans. That's just me.
that's fair. They were pretty. And they had 8-inch gun turrets.
Right.
So actually, yeah, just on the 8-inch gun turret side, I would agree with you. Yeah, 100%.
If we're just talking lines and appeal, Fletcher class destroyer for me. I know
That's
it's simple, but
Nope, that's absolutely right. I wasn't even thinking about smaller ships.
Yeah, the Fletcher.
I did say Graf Spee.
Yes, you did. Deutschlands.
Yeah, the Fletchers were gorgeous. That's a good point.
Now, for just unmitigated gall, I gotta go with the Kitakami after its refit.
Eat torpedoes.
Yeah.
It's like if you
That's-
let a little kid be like, "What do you want on your battleship, Timmy? Torpedoes." Okay, Timmy, what else do you want on your battleship? Like when that one kid would go through the line at Subway
Uh huh.
and just keep saying more black olives, more
Yeah,
black
right.
olives, more black olives. And it's like, dude, we get it. You like black olives. This is
Right.
disgusting.
he's still gonna eat it.
A nerd says, "Hey, all. How you doing, nerds?"
Hey, Nerd. There's something we should talk about now that Nerd is here.
Yeah.
How about Tank?
Tanks. Yeah.
The most attractive tank in your opinion? Because Nerd's Nerd is
Now,
good
now,
on the good with the
not to
tank.
get too pedantic. Define tank.
Armored vehicles.
Okay.
Nope,
Charles,
you're exactly right.
as far as subs go, the Gatto class.
Man, I almost got a 1-700 Gatto the other day.
Turtle.
The turtle. There you go.
I like barrels.
Yeah. A nerd says tanks go vroom vroom boom boom. What's not to love?
Right.
It's my forward air controller.
There you go.
So
That looks
So a
good.
Sherman AOP is Reese's. Okay. or a Sherman Observer.
I know I'm going to catch hell for this, but I love the look of the Grant Lee.
I do too.
Look isn't bad.
Have you ever seen was it the British or I don't know if it was the Australians? Somebody in Italy put another 75 in the top turret and built a bigger turret to put on there.
I was going to say, that's the question is, do you have the third turret? Do you have the machine gun turret on it? Or do you just have the 37?
No, you absolutely have the machine gun turret.
Okay.
It's the Lee at that point, right?
I don't remember, but yeah.
The British version is the one that is the best of this. And then, I don't know, there's just something about the Panzer II.
So I'm going to have to either go M10
I like
or is it thinking the M3 gun motor carriage, which is a anti-tank gun stuck on a half track?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Just for pure wonder.
Nerd says the IS-2 and the Panther are probably the smexiest tanks, but I do have a soft spot for the derpiness of the T-28 or the M3 Lee Grant. And that's what I was talking about. I mean, the M3 is just, I don't know what the hell the Americans were thinking when they designed that thing.
Well, the same thing the Italians were thinking, except for in a tank that was severely more survivable.
Yes. Well, there's that. Hexy says the Panzer IV-H, and Charles comes back with the Panzer III-J. And I do like the Panther. I like the look of the Panther.
Y'all are going to make me put one of my M3s on the table now.
Yeah, you are. I like the Panther better than I like the Tiger.
Oh, from a pretty standpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah, how could you not?
Even as a combat effective vehicle, I think the Panther was a much better tank than the Tiger.
Say that until you try and do a true neutral turn.
Well, there's that. Nerd says Tiger looks like a tractor factory prototype.
Correct. I mean, it was designed a substantial period of time before the Panther was. Like, that's just a fact of life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the fact the Tiger was practically on the battlefield when they were it wasn't on the battlefield, but the Tiger was in production essentially when they started designing the Panther with any real effort, at least.
And the Panther just, forgive me if I'm wrong, but didn't it basically set the pattern for the main battle tank?
Kind of, yeah, to a certain extent. It's certainly what was a rather large inspiration, pretty plainly, for the Centurion being the first MTB or MBT.
Scalagrone says, speaking of looks only, the Chieftain is the quintessential tank.
Chieftain's a looking tank.
And then Nerd says, Panther was great when it didn't light itself on fire.
Exactly.
Neutral turn or has a slightly powerful rifle, shoot it from the side.
Yeah, especially if it's getting underneath the side plating and above the road wheels.
Yeah.
Oof.
Charles says the 3J goes back to his Tobruk gameplay. I get that. Now, if we're talking modern tanks, I got to go with, was it the Merkava 6? That thing designed back in the 80s still looks like it's from the future.
I'm going to be real honest with you guys, and I'm going to make somebody mad. Either the original riveted M3s, or I just got to go with what I know and say the M4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the M4 I mean, that is the World War II tank.
It is the tank that won World War II. But I don't know. I enjoy the lines of the cast hull. I enjoy,
Mhm.
even once you get to welded hulls, I still think it holds up. It's a good looking tank.
Yeah.
And then the M3 just looks fun,
Yeah.
kind of like an L or a CV-33.
Mm-hmm.
Just looks delightful. CV-33 looks like a dumb little puppy.
Right.
Weighs
Hey,
about the same.
Let's not bring down dumb little puppies by comparing the CB-33.
Oh, crying out loud. The meatball people had a real bad case of last waritis. And for a real bad case of last waritis, that's about as practical a tank as you could come up with.
Yeah. Charles
And I mean
wants
like
to
a crippling case of last waritis.
right.
You mean they couldn't figure out which side they were on last waritis?
Well, yes,
That
as
too.
well as we're going to have to fight the same war again last waritis. So all of a sudden we're going to be stuck fighting up and down alpine passes.
I need to get my Fogalore paratroopers back out and redo them. They're
I have a whole bunch
pretty
of
rough.
28 millimeter Italian World War II stuff.
Nerd says Sherman getting the 76 was as much an aesthetic glow up as it was a combat glow up. Stubby barrel makes them look like Tonka toys. Long barrel is hot.
I was about to say, you mean purely aesthetic? But yes. More desired by people who weren't having to fight with them than those who did.
Let's go Sherman Crocodile.
Tanks with trailers weird me the hell out, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Like, I realize they've been around forever and they will stay around, but they weird me the hell out, man.
Well, maybe I'm wrong then. Not all the Flame Shermans had trailers, did they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to do more than just probably.
Right.
What about a Stuart Satan?
Oh man.
Just a little fella.
What didn't the Australians take an M4 and take the turret off and call it a kangaroo?
The
Yes.
Canadians.
The Canadians? Okay.
Yeah.
One
of those.
Walkabout Games is in
drinking
the house. Hey,
offshoots.
Chris Long. He says, hey, all.
Hey,
Bubs.
Chris, I didn't just call you a tea drinking offshoot. Sorry.
And then not all had trailers. And okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember who took the M4. And that they basically made that into a armored personnel carrier, right?
It was like a super duper Bren carrier. Yeah.
Right.
Because then, like, half the time they leave a 50 on top of it, like it's an M20.
Yeah, they put a 50 cal in the old turret. Now.
Yep. Can you imagine having to bail out on one of those under fire? Like, I realize the whole point is that you don't, because it's got actual, tank armor on it.
Well,
but
wouldn't you just go underneath it and use that escape hatch?
I mean, if you want to go like one or two at a time, but
Oh no, okay. I thought you meant like you need to get out quick.
sorry, as a passenger bailing out of it, not as a crew member bailing out of it.
Yeah.
Yes. That's just a drop, man,
Well, they used the priests as kangaroos too,
They did.
because they weren't getting the 105 millimeter shells for whatever reason. So they took the guns off of them and used them to.
Yeah, because their entire chain of logistics had been for that as a sextant with a 25-pounder in it. Thank you, American logistics, for making enough self-propelled artillery and tanks that minor nations were like, what if we just move dudes in them, huh? We can't make the boom boom stuff, but we got dudes.
Yeah, Nerd says, I love the looks of the Bren carrier too. Probably my favorite tankette.
I'm a
all
big
all
fan
y'all
of-
are doing is talking about stuff I have in my stash that I need to build.
Don't bite me.
Oh, see, I can just go grab them if you want to see them, like I do with I can with the Carol Almaty's. Oh, dude, or
Don't bite right. I mean,
Polish TKSs are real pretty too. I like Polish TKSs.
yeah. I couldn't remember the nomenclature, but I knew the little Polish
Those
guy.
angry little fellas with their 20 millimeters on the front of them.
Okay, now y'all done it. M3
Chris Long says we defrocked Priest, added armor where the 105 was.
Yep.
And it says we took our Ram tanks, took off turrets, and poofed APCs. Yep. There you go.
Brain carrier.
Oh, but it's not even put together, much less painted, Reese. Come on.
Well, I said it was in my stash. I didn't say it was built.
I mean,
So,
I do not have the time this week to go pull out painted models. I got to paint.
I know. Got a lot of Americans I need to build. And a lot of Germans and a lot of.
You have an M8? The Greyhound?
No.
Actually, forget a Greyhound. How about an M8 Scott?
Yes, I have one built and painted.
I like.
Shoot me.
Because my first gaming unit, quote unquote, was Cav Recon Italy.
Well, that'll do it.
So M8 Scott, M5, M3s. Lots of guys with carbines and binoculars running around.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate tease.
Chris Long says he's liking my brother's quad tanks, his quad tractors. Yep, pretty good stuff. And Nerd says Reese getting me all excited to see his Bren carrier, and he shows me a box instead.
Nerd, come back next week and remind us all this, and I'll start pulling tanks out. I just got to paint this week.
Hex says I painted a Harry Potter and a Ron tonight. Does that count? Absolutely.
A Harry Potter and a what?
A Ron. Ron Weasley.
Oh, sorry. I've been listening to Operation Torch videos. I was like, you painted a whole ass city?
And I've got Harry Potter Puppet Pals stuck in my head. The way you said Ron Weasley, I'm doomed.
What? Harry Potter's what?
Harry Potter Puppet Pals? Oh, no. You have not been initiated.
Yeah, we're not going to be.
After stream, I'll send it to you.
You scare me, Reese. You scare me.
If you dickheads are talking about Harry Potter all next weekend,
No,
I'm going to change
not.
I'm going to change the beefaroni to chili.
It
Yeah,
was
you
one of
guys
the
fucking-
original viral YouTube videos. We'll talk about it after stream. But
Yikes.
Now,
You know who has been painting a lot of stuff recently? Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Mr. Hex to Hex himself.
Nerd says, little known history fact: it took 5 Shermans to kill 1 Harry Potter.
Nerd, you almost lost me. And now we're talking about killing Harry Potter, and I am back. You know what's really irritating? Well, congratulations. I need to turn the camera to my crotch, but I have to paint right now. Where the fuck were wizards and the entire goddamn wizarding community from 1936 to 1935?
trying to kill Grindelwald.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
Wrong name. It's supposed to be that guy with the funny mustache, not some dingus who's named after Grindel. Who the hell's Grindelwald?
Dumbledore's ex-lover, if I remember correctly.
What? Dumbledore had a wife. It's in the Chocolate Frog biography from the first book. I just read that with my niece.
Dude experimented in college. Anyway.
Like, seriously though. Like, oh no, we can't see anything. Oh, look at that. These guys can see in the dark and they can magically illuminate things. Night raids. The hell's a night raid?
Boom.
Nerd's got it right though here.
What?
They were hiding because a bullet is way faster than flicking your wrist and shouting Alakazoo Bimberdoom.
We have not advanced to that part in my fucking angry Harry Potter what the hell rant yet. Okay? You're exactly right, but that's not the point.
Have
But,
you
like-
seen the How It Should Have Ended where Snape pulls out a Glock and shoots Voldemort in the face? Because I did, and that was great.
I have. That's why they can't have American exchange students at Hogwarts. And why the Triwizard Cup would be a lot less cool if they had an American school in there. Because, yeah, they come up against all these beasties, and that old boy just rocks out like an A5 with slugs in it, like, dunk, 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 dunk. Y'all still
Now, what
fuck
we
with the
going to do
dragon?
here is
Yeah, y'all still fuck with the dragon? Okay, I'll wait.
All right, let me take a look.
Like, imagine if Mississippi Tech had a wizarding school attached, or even better, Ozark College or Ozark School of Trades, since we're all
it's
in that Missouri, Arkansas area.
yeah,
Either one.
School of the Ozarks. Yep, those guys are crazy.
College of the Ozarks is a wild place. I would agree.
My great grandfather graduated from there.
I used to party at College of the Ozarks every now and then.
We used to go up there for basketball tournaments.
I never played basketball, but
two of my friends graduated. Back then, it was School of the Ozarks. Up on the screen, we see Hexy's Ron and Harry.
Those are phenomenal.
good God, Jeff.
But Ron has seen things.
Ron has seen things.
Harry's trying to get his prescription right so he can see things.
Right?
Jeffy, those look awesome, dude.
They're
They do.
fantastic.
Those are excellent, sir.
What are they based on? Like, what's the base?
Looks like a 3mm
MDF.
MDF.
Did a good job.
Jeffy
could also
paints
be
super well.
Could also be printed.
Jeffy, you want to paint 54mm Rebel Cavalry for me?
Oh, Christ on a bike. At first, I was going to say no way, but shit, he might.
He might. Especially if I send him with you.
That's
He
true.
says-
He said
Send 'em.
send them.
I'll send him 3.
All right, Jeff, there you go. I'll have to pick them up at March to Victory, and then they'll be trucking their way in the the scuba route come May.
Please forgive me if they're in powder blue, Hexy. I'll send you the horses too. If they're powder blue, still paint them in gray.
He says he wants horses also.
I'll send you my horses. Not all of them, but some of them.
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Seems like 3 horses is probably enough if you're sending 3 cavalrymen. You gonna toss a horse holder in there, Reese?
No. I've got mules and rebels with shotguns and all kinds of crazy things.
Charles wants to know where Hermione and Ginny are.
I've seen that documentary.
Yikes.
Oh man.
But yeah, like I don't.
Her hair failed to print.
Oh.
Oh, that does suck. Fair enough.
Sort of like in the Polyjuice potion when she turns into a cat.
Exactly.
I think that would be hair printing far too much. Yay, yay, yay. Painting, decking on the Prince of Wales. Yay, yay, yay.
You know, I painted these guys probably. Oh, I don't know. Let me check my records and see when I painted them.
You keep track of when you paint shit?
Occasionally.
You need to paint more shit.
I do. July 14th, 2020. So I painted these guys 5 years ago.
You're just now getting them based?
Well, I had them based on cork, and I had to I was rebasing them. I need to redo the scope on it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on.
Also, what's wrong with basing figures after like 5 years after painting them?
Well, I was about to comment that that's right up there with McMurray's time frame.
Yeah.
As I said, I need to put the scope back on it. I lost it somewhere in transport, but there we go. There's an M1D.
Charles said he did some painting today. 46 shields on 46 figures.
Hell yeah. Charles, you still painting the 15s?
And Chris Long says, thanks for the reminder. I need to repaint my Prince of Wales deck.
Hell yeah. I've got the March to Victory big ship game.
Mm-hmm.
The ship is 1/700 scale.
Nice.
It's colossal. Huge. It's going to be super fun. I think people are going to enjoy it.
Very nice. Nerd says, all I've done so far this year is a Star Destroyer and a skeleton. Y'all are doing great.
There
Charles
you go.
says, 15s y nada más.
Yeah. I understand the numbers there.
And Walkabout says, sweet, 1/700th.
15, nothing more.
Yep.
So, I've been painting a lot of airplanes. I think I'm almost over the hill on those.
I got some airplanes too that I'm painting up for March to Victory. You guys excited? Airplanes, boys.
I'm curious. What are you painting?
You should be curious.
Airplanes.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me guess, they're topless airplanes?
The kinds that go brrr.
Okay. Are they gonna fit in with my game, or do I need to do something else as well?
What do you mean topless airplanes?
I'm just making a joke about the women usually bring to my games.
Oh, well, she had a
Hey,
top
Gordo,
one.
how you doing, buddy?
She's just moving it.
Everybody say hi to my buddy Gordon.
Mr. Gordon, what's up, buddy? How are you doing?
We need to get him to a March to Victory.
Where's he at?
Kentucky, just south of Paducah.
That's not too far.
Nah.
I got a buddy in Paducah.
That's a bit of a drive, but yeah.
Charles says no more small models. The 1/144 scale is too darn small for my old bad fat fingers.
Nah, maybe with that attitude, Charles. I believe in you, though.
And Scala says, ho, Gordon. Gordon used to live up that direction for a little while back in the mid-2000s, Scala. He just about tossed his ME-110 off the balcony. Charles did.
Did it fly?
Probably for a little while.
About as well as it would have after Jaeger shot it. BF-110 is a good-looking airplane, all in all, I think.
I don't know. Too boxy.
Now, really, though, if you're looking for a twin-engined, fast aircraft that tears up the skies in Europe, you got to go with a Mosquito.
Yep.
Mosquito or P-38, either one. Or P-61.
I mean, P-38 wins, but it's not a bomber. The Mosquito scratches that itch for me.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider the fact that the British managed to somehow conceal two of the biggest testicles on Earth. Well, four of the biggest testicles on Earth on every Mosquito.
Yeah.
I have this really cool idea. What is it? we're going to put a flag over Gestapo. We're going to hold on. What?
Yep. Yeah, Gordon. I saw about those fires out around Fredericksburg. About 5 miles. It said about 5 minutes from his dad's old place.
Hope it's all right.
Nerd says the P-61 is the single best plane design to ever take to the air.
It's pretty slick,
And
especially over Europe when you take the turret off the top and strap bombs underneath it, and start running interdiction with it.
right. I still like the quad 50 turret and the quad 20 shooting at the bottom of towards the front.
Y'all can't see it. I've got my P-61 hanging up at the top left corner.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, excuse me. Now, I did see something, and I showed this to Reese the other day. It was very disconcerting. And that was the OS2U Kingfisher with landing gear.
What?
Yeah. Let me show that to you because it
You don't need to.
No,
It'd
no.
be like an Arado 196 with lane. I don't need to see it. Like seeing FDR standing up. No, it's okay. I'm good.
I believe you can do it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not arguing that you saw it. I don't need to see it, though.
Charles, then you need to get to March to Victory because that's what my game is about this year. B-25s in the Pacific.
Yep.
And then there's the added bonus game of P-38 shooting down Kates.
On top of that.
Betty's.
I'm sorry, it is Betty's. My bad.
I mean, we can shoot down Kates too.
Kate's, Betty's, Zeros, Clyde's, Ralph's,
Everything.
whatever it takes.
I'm even bringing. Will Copeland's going to be there, isn't he?
Yeah.
I better finish my what do they call them, Shindens?
Yeah. The Shinjins.
I better finish those too. I will.
What you doing, buddy? You're a good cat.
I've stalled out on my Betties. I'll have them done before next weekend, but I don't want to touch them right now.
Hey, Reese.
Mhm.
Are you hearing him?
Yes. It's kind of faint.
Okay.
I don't have the best hearing right now, but
My head is right next to my phone.
All right, Gordon. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Have a good night. Charles says my daughters won't let me leave the county.
we'll come still.
We got to go bust Charles out, yeah.
Yeah, right?
I've forgotten about this guy as well.
Oh, there you go.
So face needs some work, but
What shoulder patch is that?
I painted his 82nd, but it should have been 101st.
Whatever it takes, man.
I painted 82nd so I could use them in Italy because at that point I was
82, 101, whatever it takes.
because at that point I was only gaming World War II in Italy.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Y'all didn't know me before my Vietnam craze.
Oh, man. I need to start working on these guys again.
What are those guys, Chris?
My 3mm M60s.
Hell yeah.
I have two. It's a short battalion's worth of M60s.
Hell yes.
it's basically three companies, and the two battalion command tanks. But that's just the ones that I haven't taken off their supports. I still have all of these guys that I need to finish finish putting basing, finish flocking, and then somewhere around here. No, that's not good. Somewhere around here, I've got a crap ton of them already printed and separated. I just need to get them mounted onto discs. I need to clean my room again. It was clean about 3 months ago. What are you doing, sir? No, you're not getting up there. No. Go on. Go.
It's boat time. Boat, boaty boat.
Charles says, I have a B-17 QOTS variant with the B-25 Prince of the Skies. Brutal fun.
Hell yeah.
Where did all those go? Oh, well.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I keep painting on a frame. My apologies.
That's fine. No worries.
Boaty boats. Boats.
So I'm still waiting on that list of tanks you're going to bring me.
Ah, shit. Okay, fair enough. I got 2 days to finish 100 points worth of painting for Analog Hobbies and get it posted, and then I'm right back down.
No worries.
Nah, it's irritating because I've been meaning to send you a bunch of stuff, and between the home improvements and everything else, it's just been
I
getting
get that.
left by the wayside.
Speaking of my brother Jay's tractors, Quar tractors, here they are. Here's what he's working on.
Now, is he painting those? I know we talked about this, and I can't remember what he said. Is he painting those in 15 or 28?
These are 28s.
Okay.
So, there you go. He's doing a quite nice job. Those are the Toolmore twine hair tractors. I guess I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know.
Josh's little his little half track looking job that he came out with last month was pretty cool.
Yeah. Charles says, I have 120 figures in 15 millimeter weighting. I've got 200 more coming in. A bit of everything.
Those are rookie numbers, Charles.
Right?
The
Scally, you're
difference
right.
is he'll have them painted by fucking May.
That is also very true.
Yeah, Scal says there's just something about the Quar stuff. It's super cool. Yes, it is. I like the little dudes.
Boats.
Those are looking good.
Yeah, they are.
And McMurray, I hope you didn't have to paint anything for what I asked you to bring me.
I did.
You did?
Working on it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to add to your plate.
A couple of them are still in progress. What do you mean? I like doing it.
Okay, cool.
And if I don't get them done, I'll just bring you other stuff and you won't know the difference because you don't know boats.
I don't. That's a throwback I forgot I had.
What's that?
Oh, you'll see here in just a second.
I need to get this finished. Speaking of boats,
What is that, Chris?
Titanic.
Ah, there you go. Who are you painting that for?
My granddaughter.
There you go.
She is a huge Titanic fan. I mean, she knows, and I'm not talking about the movie. I mean, she likes the movie, yes.
I'm a huge
But-
fan of Titanic, the movie, too.
I've never seen it.
Oh, man, that came out when I was in, like, middle school. Well, it got popularized on VHS when I was in middle school, and there were some parts in Titanic that were very, very interesting for middle school McMurray.
Well, I'm sure there was. And I know the part you're talking about.
It was a life-changing experience.
But I never went to see it because I knew how it ended.
Fair. I
There
didn't
you
even have
go.
to peek at the end.
Nice Jeep.
I need to redo the guy's face, but yep. So
But you know, she not only is she a fan of the movie, but she's also a fan of the history of Titanic.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's a pretty awesome kid, all in all. She's playing volleyball now. Apparently, she's really good at it too,
Good.
which makes me proud because you know that's what I got my varsity letter in is girls volleyball.
Good job.
Skeller Grumman says, I like big boats and I cannot lie. You other captains can't deny that when a dreadnought rolls in with torpedoes in your face, you panic and lose your place.
That's outstanding.
I
Have
like
you ever
that.
considered a career in Royal Navy freestyling?
Right?
Because if so, you need to find yourself a time machine and go talk to Sir John Jellicoe.
Exactly.
He has some very important things to discuss with you.
But yeah, I need to finish getting this built by, well, the weekend of March to Victory.
What's that?
The Titanic.
Oh, wait, you're doing that at March to Victory? Oh, 'cause you're going to take it out there?
Yeah, because I'm gonna take it to her
Nice.
that weekend.
yeah, we're just going to hit the Titanic with a kamikaze.
Yeah,
I was about
you
to
know.
say, that's going to make everything here a little awkward. What scale is it?
It's 1/700.
Oh, dang. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
It's not waterline, is it?
No,
We
it's
can
not.
make it waterline.
I
I'll
could
bring a
make it
dribble.
waterline because you know,
We have the technology.
that's a single piece right there.
I was cutting brackets off the truck with a sonic tool this weekend.
With a soldering tool?
Sonic tool, one of the oscillating cutters.
Okay. I thought you said a soldering tool. I was like, a soldering iron? How did you do that? Yeah. Heat up more.
Oh
Turn
man,
faster, just more.
I forgot about this guy.
Yeah.
So it's a regular Car 98 that he's retrofitted with a Soviet PU scope.
That's confusing.
There was a few of them that hit that were used.
I don't doubt it.
So
Oh, excuse me. Oof.
All right. Boats.
Those are looking good, man.
There's a question. The issue is there's not many Carly floats on them, and those can really make the difference. Like I almost wish there were a bunch more on them because it makes for a very aesthetically pleasing ship when you've got all the Carly floats picked out in bright yellow and stuff.
Right.
But they're obviously not something a lot of people want to model on, like take the time to put onto a 3D model, which is understandable. Heck, this Texas only has four ship's boats on it, period. Oh man, this is a misprint. That sucks.
What misprinted on it?
Same thing as always. The rear gun barrels back here.
Yep. I've learned to put in tiny little supports on the rear guns.
I've done it with the rest. Like this other one over here is fine.
Yeah.
This must have just been the first print that I did, and I thought I had just had one for Texas and one for New York. I guess this one's just a failure. That's okay.
That'd be the New York.
New York.
I don't like the green color on that PU. I'm going to repaint that real quick.
Well, Russian Camel Green is butt ugly. Like, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah, I think if I go oily steel on it, it'd be okay.
Hey, Scalo, those Cardassians look really good. He just posted some Cardassian ships. I'm gonna bring those up here real quick. There we go. Ah, buddy, you want it back up here? Come here. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's a good boy. So yeah, those look really good, dude.
Oh, nice.
Heck yeah. Here's a question. What color did the Kriegsmarine paint their depth charges?
I honestly don't know.
Neither do I. It's a tough one.
Well, let me know.
I'm sure somebody in the textures got it, but
They look like they're like a dark olive brown kind of color.
okay.
You talking about the barrel depth charges?
Yep.
You want me to send you a picture?
Sure.
Scala says his group changed scales from 1,7,000 to 1,4,000, so now he needs to redo all the fleets.
Oh, damn, dude. That's rough. I'm happy you enjoy doing it.
Yeah. Nerd says not just gray.
I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't know if it was going to be that or like the Ordnance kind of standard Dunkelgelb. Who knows? I figured they're probably just gray. But
I just sent it to you.
But what color gray?
Thank you, sir.
I don't
Probably
know if
not.
that's even accurate, but
Probably not the correct Feldgrau, Chris. All right. There we are. Okay, so that's all of my ship's boats painted. I also need to determine if I want to paint my torpedo tubes a different color. I probably shouldn't, but sometimes you just feel like painting things a different color because they look nice when they're a different color. Even though everything's kind of just gray.
here you go. I repainted this. I think it looks a little bit better. Let's see if I can get it to focus.
It looks very nice.
Oh yeah, that's just blurry. There we go.
Looks good.
I need to grab a uniform gray.
You know me, I find obscure weapons in historical photos and then proceed to build an entire miniature around it.
Hell yeah. That is the one thing I'm jealous of you with for 54s.
Just do it. You don't have to game with them. Just do it. Put them on your shelf and look at them.
Yeah. I like building and painting stuff I'm going to play games with.
Okay, then play games with them.
fixing to kick off another big build and paint kick with Ancients because I did that great big. I painted like 80 or something, almost 100 Ancients in a month. I need to do that again. Man, those Egyptians are easy, buddy. I'll tell you what.
I was reading some stuff out of Second Kings the other day that made me think that biblical stuff might be kind of fun.
Right?
But I've never gone back that far on the table, so I don't know.
Well, buddy, I'll tell you what. I got a bunch of terrain. I'll try and bring something to maybe Battles and Brews or some such.
Yeah, not March to Victory for sure, but whatever the next one we connect on, let's do it.
Absolutely, because that's got some really fun potential. It's hard to find rules that work well for them, though.
I can make just about any rule set work with any figures for me personally. I'm not saying that you can't.
It's the chariots that pose a problem because most rule sets that go back that far do not include chariots, which is a little confusing. But yeah, I think Clash of Spears should work, but I'm going to have to mess with it. That's all.
I'm going to have to redo that guy's face, I think. I like him too much. We're going to redo the face.
All right, I'll be right back.
No, not what I'm wanting to find. So yeah, it looks like a dark gray. Charles says he repainted an old King Tiger for like the third or fourth time. I'm not sure what the scale is. How you doing, Buster? Yeah, you're a good boy. Oh, man. Well, when McMurray gets back, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the evening.
Understood.
I think it's still raining a little here, and the wind has finally died down some. Yeah, we're finally down to only 14 miles per hour. Yeah, and the low is moved to just northwest of Grand Rapids.
I hope this wind dies eventually because it's killing me.
Yeah. Right now, your wind is coming out of the northeast.
So we got to take the trash out, but I'm waiting till the wind dies down. Oh, evidently it's snowing here right now. It's going to snow for the next couple of hours.
Oh, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Our rain is gonna stop in about 10 minutes.
Hey, our gusts have died down to only 38 miles an hour. I'll take that.
Hey, there you go.
Here's some guys I picked up on eBay a long time ago that were already painted. Their faces are a little bit crazy, but they came based and painted and everything. So
Charles says he's got a Brumbar, a T-34-76, and a Churchill Mark III, all in 172nd. Which to paint first? I'd go with the Churchill, but that's because I like the good guys. Every time I think about moving out of the Seattle area, I remember that the weather sucks everywhere else. Dude, Seattle weather is balls. Yeah, your wind right now is 19 sustained in Fayetteville. So, just only about 5 miles an hour faster than what we're dealing with here.
So at ranch headquarters, because of the way the valley sits and the hills sit, you can estimate about 10 miles per hour more in wind.
Oh yeah.
The way it is, I don't understand it, but we get blown away.
Charles says San Diego weather is great. Earthquakes are not weather induced. Yeah, because they can just show up anytime. It's 9 months of light rain, no heat waves, no freezing, just 55 to 65 degrees year round. Yeah, I couldn't deal with 9 months of light rain. And 55 to 65 is just too damn cold.
The horses got all worked up about the wind today.
Oh, I can imagine.
Boaz came in to be fed, took one look at it, turned around, ran all the way back across the field, ran all the way back, bucking and snorting and kicking. And am I going to go in? Am I not? Am I going to go in? Am I not?
Yeah.
I was like, Bud, just come eat. I've got things to do.
Scalagremlin said summer was Tuesday last year. I couldn't deal with it, man. I could not deal with it. I have to have 85, 90, 95 degree weather. I got to. It makes me appreciate going to Minnesota more, going up to Minnesota more. Except last year we went in the last week of June, first week of August, and it was, or last week of July, first week of August, and it was cold and rainy up there. It was not a normal late July, early August week. You literally have heat stroke warnings on the local news when it gets above 80. Yeah. In Texas, they start worrying about it being too cold at 45. And you need to make sure that you leave your faucets dripping when it gets to freezing. Oh, excuse me. And what's weird is the humidity here in Illinois is a completely different type of humidity than down in Texas.
It's the river.
No, it's not the river. It's the corn.
Blame it on the crops.
No, seriously, it due to plant respiration, the amount of humidity in Illinois because of the corn is anywhere between 15 to 20% higher than it should be. If they go more than 7 straight days without rain, they start talking about the drought. Yeah, they're kind of like that around here too. You go 3 weeks and people are losing their damn minds.
We've
Yeah,
got
because
dust.
their whole fucking livelihoods could die.
No, because they can irrigate the shit out of these crops.
We get dust storms out here, and the grass is still green.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
irrigate, granted, but that costs money as opposed
No, it
to
doesn't.
rain.
No, it doesn't. You just filter it off the river.
Still got to run the pumps.
You still got to
No,
run the pumps. That's
there's no
still
pumps.
wear on the pumps. That's still breakage on the pumps.
No, there's no pumps. They literally just say, "Hey, river, come here." And like Spanish acequias. Now in West Texas, you got to worry about pumps because they're digging down like 200 feet to get water. But no, they're bitching about a drought and the grass is still green. It's like, no, this isn't a drought, guys. Trust me. When you go 13 and a half months with no appreciable amount of rain, that's a drought.
Correct, but you don't live in a place where you can go 13 and a half months without rain while having, again, the entire economic stability of the region contingent on agriculture. Like, you can bitch about it all you want to, but then you're going to be out of a fucking job.
Yeah, well, you know.
And then everyone in a huge amount of your surrounding community is going to be homeless and also out of a job.
Right.
Like, you're right, we can bitch about it, but then we're just going to be bitching about bank foreclosures and everything else. So maybe we could just agree it'd be nice if it rained sometimes.
It would be nice to rain, but like, it rained 2 weeks ago. This isn't a drought. The grass is still green. The plants are still growing. Anywho, well, I think I am going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. Thanks everybody for showing up. Appreciate it. Uh, Scala and Charles and Nerd, thanks for dropping in. Chris Long, Hexy, my buddy Gordon, my brother Jay. So, thanks one and all, and until next time. Oof, sorry, buddy. Until next time, we will see you on the flip side.
See you, Paulie.